Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Ferguson Outdoor Productions. I'm your host Brian Ferguson, and we have a special treat in store for you this week. We're going quail hunting in our own backyard. That's right, we're off to Poplar Springs Farm, located just outside of Charlotte and Shelby, North Carolina. And let me tell you, we're only going about 45 minutes from one of the largest cities in the southeast, but you're going to feel like you're in true quail country. Come on along as we spend a weekend at what I think is one of the top destinations for the avid bird hunter, as well as those of you who might be new to the sport and want to experience your first covey rise. First, let me talk to you a little bit about the history of quail hunting in the South. Although there are several species of quail, when we say quail, we mean bobwhites. And when we say bird dogs, well, it's either an English setter or English pointer. Bobwhite quail were once a common sight in the South, occupying the quilted patchwork of farms that made up the region's agricultural topography. The pointer and the setter were a must-have companion as hunters pursued the tight-sitting but fast-flying bobwhite quail. As habitat loss and predation have taken a toll on the numbers of quail found in the South, many avid bird hunters and dog trainers have turned to preserves as a way of maintaining the tradition of fine double guns, stylish dogs, and fast-flying birds. There are quite a few preserves around, but none can boast a closer location, better quail habitat, nicer amenities, more stylish dogs, or an overall attention to customer satisfaction like Poplar Springs Farm. Poplar Springs Farm is the brainchild of Darren Melton, who spent the better part of his life training the very best gun dogs and pursuing the wary bobwhite quail. With a clear mission of creating a natural quail habitat, Darren's manipulated the topography at Poplar Springs Farm to provide year-round food and cover. In the spring, they plant grain sorghum, sunflowers and millet in the open fields, and native grasses like Lespedeza and switchgrass around the wooded sections. In the fall, winter peas, wheat, clover, and turnips are planted in small food plots to provide alternative food sources during the colder months. All the attention to habitat detail yields some of the best hunting you'll ever experience. At Poplar Springs Farm, you can hunt quail, pheasant, and chukar partridge in any combination you desire. But don't think Poplar Springs Farm is limited only to upland game bird hunting. The changes originally designed to improve the habitat for upland game birds have been so successful that additional species have benefited, and now Poplar Springs has opened up spring turkey hunting and an early season dove hunt in September to kick off the start of the season. Opening day of dove season has always been a time to spend with family and friends, celebrating the start of the hunting season and enjoying lots of action from the fast-flying mourning dove. Portions of the quail habitat are set aside to provide shooting zones for hunters taking part in this very special occasion. Turkey hunting is a challenge to any sportsman, but if you're looking for a place that has lots of birds and very little hunting pressure, well, this is it. Choose a guided or unguided hunt depending on your skill level and have a close encounter with a thundering tom on a cool spring morning. All dove and turkey hunts are based on the season and bag limits set forth by the North Carolina Wildlife Commission. Next, let me tell you a little bit about the amenities at Poplar Springs Farm. The newly constructed lodge can accommodate your hunting party with comfort, charm, and privacy. Imagine waking up to a hot-cooked breakfast before your day of hunting, or just sitting around a crackling fire at night, recalling each point, flush, and shot. Hunting is the main objective of most people visiting Poplar Springs Farm, but the facilities have been really popular with several organizations and individuals seeking a unique backdrop to that special corporate outing, meeting, or family gathering. The bobwhite quail can test even the best marksmen, so to help prepare for the hunt and to hone your shotgun skills, there's a warm-up range complete with clay pigeons to help heat up the barrel of that shotgun. But no matter how much you practice your shooting skills, even the most talented sportsman has trouble concentrating on form when it sounds like the earth beneath your feet is just lifted off. Poplar Springs Farm also accommodates hunters new to the sport, and they are able to outfit you with all the needed equipment like firearms, clothing, and even instruction. Which brings us to the real reason why we're here, to see some great dogs work and hopefully flush a few birds. I can still remember getting up in the morning with my granddaddy and loading up his English pointers in the back of his truck. We'd head out to the woods and watch those dogs crisscross the country just waiting for a point. As a child, I didn't get to see many birds flush, but when you did see a pointer freeze up, you knew what was about to take place, and that feeling of anticipation is like no other. Poplar Springs Farm gave us our fill of great food, time with our friends, and of course, exciting upland bird hunting action. The dogs that we used on the guided hunts are painstakingly trained, and their beauty's upstaged only by the thrill of seeing a bobwhite covey rise. Those birds erupted from that grain sorghum in such violence and confusion, it was hard to pick out just one. But if you wanted to be successful, you really had to steady your nerves before you squeeze that trigger. When we went hunting at Poplar Springs Farm, we used Darren's dogs, but for those of you looking for a place to run your own dog, you might want to consider one of their unguided bird hunts. Many dog owners take advantage of the unguided hunts to help reinforce training lessons, tune up a dog before hunting season, or just let your companion show off his natural gift for finding those tight-holding birds. Hey, we obviously had a great time at Poplar Springs Farm, and I have to recommend you give Darren a call or check out his website. They'd be glad to have you come by and see them, and you'll be a fan for life, I guarantee it. This has been a Ferguson Outdoor production, and until next week, this is Brian Ferguson thanking you for watching.